So a couple weeks ago, I managed to kill the battery on my brand new Subaru Crosstrek. So I don't actually know exactly how I did it, but I think it was a combination of the auto lights maybe not going off when the key is out of the ignition, and also the 12-volt power port going to my Bluetti may have still been on. I'm not really sure, but whatever the combination was, I ended up with a dead battery in my new Subaru Crosstrek. It only took a short amount of time for that to happen. I was parked for maybe 2 or 3 hours doing some video editing, and when I went to start the car, there was just no power, or not enough to turn the starter motor over even. So I ended up having to call someone at work for help. I happened to be really close to work anyways at that point, and it all worked out in the end. But it was a good reminder that I really needed to get either some jump cables or a jump start box. Preferably a jump start box because I do have a tendency to be out in the middle of the forest by myself. It's getting really buggy outside, so I'm going to move this whole operation into the car. So what I ended up buying was this Noco Boost Sport GB20. So it's a 12-volt 500 amp jump starter. So according to the box, it's good for starting any gas engine under 4 liters, and my car is less than half that. So this should be perfect for starting my car if I ever run into a situation where I need to again. And if I encounter someone on the road that needs help, I can also try to use this on them as well. So this is a very basic unit. It only does a couple of things. So you can turn it on, and it shows you the charge. And from there you can hook it up with alligator clips to the battery, and it will automatically detect the battery, and then you're set to do a jump start. This button here is if your battery is truly dead and it can't detect the battery. What you do is you press this button and it will override all of the equipment in here and basically just directly try to jump your battery and boost it with lots of power. Apparently you're not supposed to press that button normally, but if you have a truly dead battery, I think it's under 2 volts, this will work in theory, and a convenient USB port for charging devices. So I wanted something that was either 12 volt or USB rechargeable because that's the power I have available. This one happened to be USB rechargeable, which is really convenient because I have an absolute ton of USB ports hanging around. So this is perfect for my situation. I can recharge it. It takes about 3 hours from empty. When I charged this up when I first bought it, it took about an hour of driving to get this charged up all the way to max. It also comes with yet another micro USB cable to plug it in. I have so many of these, it's ridiculous, but I'm not complaining because occasionally one will break or go out or disappear. And so more USB cables is always a good thing in my world. So let's talk about the pros and cons of this unit really quick. So on the pro side, this is very small, simple, and easy to use. As you can see, it's about the size of my hand, obviously a little bit thicker than my hand, but still very compact. I can fit this anywhere in the car. It usually lives under my seat, actually. And it's also very lightweight, and I like that. I don't need any more unnecessary weight in the car than I have. Unnecessary weight just puts more wear on my car, and it also reduces my fuel mileage, and I don't want either of those things. It's also really inexpensive. I think I paid about $70 for it, and about 10 years ago I actually had another boost box like this, except it had an old lead acid battery in it, and that thing cost me over $100. So these things have really come down in price. There's really no excuse not to have something like this in a vehicle, and I prefer using these over jump cables because I can self-rescue. I don't have to rely on someone else wandering by for me to jumpstart my car. Another good thing that I really like about it are the lights. So this actually is a very good flashlight, and it has different flashing settings on it that you can use, like this one or this one, which is very exciting. That'll definitely get people's attention if you're broken down on the side of the road or something. You can never have too many flashlights hanging around, and so just having an extra flashlight that you know you can count on hiding under your seat is really convenient. And speaking of things that you can't have too many of, USB ports is another one of those things. My car has 2. I have another 5 on my Bluetti, so I can charge my phone or whatever else I need to charge from one of 3 different battery sources. So that's always good. I'm always happy to have more USB ports that I can use. So before we get into the cons of this unit, remember to hit the like button so the YouTube algorithm will share my video with more people, and we can get this channel growing. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of summer, and I think we can do it, and I think we can probably do it a lot faster. So hitting the like button really helps a lot. So there are 2 bad things about this unit. So the first is it can only jumpstart engines that are below 4 liters. So if I run across someone that has a dead battery on the side of the road somewhere or at a campground, I can't jump start them with this box, and I can't jump start them at all because I actually don't have jumper cables. So I would be relying on someone else's jumper cables if I'm going to rescue someone else. And an even bigger problem with this unit is I won't know that it actually works until I use it. And that always makes me nervous because when I need it, it's likely to be when I'm somewhere off the grid and I won't really be able to call for help too easily. And the fact is, this is relatively untested, so I hope it works. I assume it works. It has really good reviews online. I have no reason to believe it doesn't work, but still, if it's never been used before, how do you know it actually works? So I'm really hoping that the first time I use this jumpstart box, it's going to be on someone else other than myself, because that way we're in no worse of a position than we started off in. And no matter what, I'll still be able to help that other person. This is the last major device that I'm going to buy for my Crosstrek here. There's always things that I'm going to be adding and probably removing as well from the Crosstrek. I have everything I need now that I can go on longer adventures. I can go drive wherever I want basically and not worry too much about getting stuck or stranded. I can self-rescue under most circumstances. So starting next week, you'll probably see videos of me taking my Crosstrek on adventures. So you probably don't want to miss out on that, so remember to hit the subscribe button. And if you're wondering what on earth I'm doing in my Crosstrek and what it looks like on the inside, the rest of my setup, here is a link to the full tour of my Subaru Crosstrek.